I've watched Lost and Alone and Naked and Afraid and Lost Island or whatever those shows are.
Isn't that what you call your shower time?
And now, Cheez Whiz.
Bingo.
Can you hear that wind?
No, you have wind?
Yeah, there's a real bad storm right now.
Oh no, it's hot as hell here.
Why can't I see you?
Oh, my fault. Hold on.
I don't even see a square where you would be. Oh, there you are. There was like, you know how
all right.
You know how when Chris is on, there's like that square where he is?
Yeah.
There's no
I thought you were already starting with slamming me by calling me a square.
No, sir. Holy shit, you can't hear that?
No, I don't hear it.
Hear what?
There's a pretty bad storm going on right now here, and the wind is crazy loud and the rain is crazy loud.
Can't hear anything. Can you hear my air conditioning?
No.
Okay, well, it's loud as well.
Yeah, I have not. It is very hot and humid here, but we have nothing running yet.
Hey, it's 85 degrees and I'm wearing a sweatshirt because when I got COVID, all of a sudden my blood got thin.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolute pisser, man. Absolute pisser.
Oh, it is warm as shit here and humid.
I mean, it's still 80 here. The temperature hasn't dropped much with the rain coming in.
The storm that we had yesterday, it dropped from like 90 to 67 in about 3 minutes.
God damn.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was nutty yesterday.
The good thing is, though...
Same thing today, supposedly.
The good thing is, though, with this rain, it's keeping the bugs at bay. Like, the cicadas are quiet for a minute. They have gone away for a minute.
We don't have
I got attacked by Mothra in my kitchen last night.
Now, that's interesting. Why don't you tell us about that, Jess?
Moth.
So I was about to go let my dogs out, and just as I reached for the door, I thought I felt something touch my arm, and then I looked and I didn't see anything, and I opened the door and I let the dogs out, and I turn around and there is this moth just going crazy, just flying around like crazy all over my kitchen. And I finally get a Tupperware thing and capture it, and I open the door to set it free. And this motherfucker flies right back in and hits me in the face.
You know, that's weird because I had a dream the other night that I was being attacked by Mothra Ray. And that's very weird. How we both had the same thing happen.
And weirder yet is I posted a picture of a moth today.
I actually saw that and I was like, I got to tell Wally about my moth story.
That was just so goofy. But isn't that moth beautiful?
Yeah, it was very pretty.
If you can see it if you could see it. So I found it outside and it looked like a little fuzzy yellow worm with pink and yellow on it. And so I picked it up. I thought it was dead. I brought it in the house. I put it on that package of tomatoes because we were bringing in some groceries from BJ's. And all of a sudden it came back to life. It just started moving around and walking about. But so I looked it up real quick. I didn't know that it was called a maple moth until I looked it up, and discovered that the male moth of this species or the adult moths don't eat. So it is dying. They don't eat. They become a pupa and then pupate and then become a moth and mate and lay some eggs and then don't eat and die. Well,
I did zero research about the moth that was attacking me last night. It's interesting.
Well, I was thinking that if you met more adults like this moth, Jess, you might have better experiences because you go like, oh, he's going to be dead in about a week. What do I care? What does it matter? Death will come to him. Yeah. But a lot of insects are that way, I guess. They become adults and they just don't eat and they die.
Okay.
Which is kind of interesting. It's an interesting way to go through life.
Then there's ants. I had an ant infestation in my mailbox. Have you ever had this? It's like I looked it up. Apparently, it's a common thing that they take over a mailbox because it's dark in there and they can lay all their little eggs. And so I reached in one day to get my mail and I pulled my hand out. My mail and my hand were covered in ants. Of course, I shrieked and freaked
the
out.
little tiny brown ones.
No, the black ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's weird.
And
And it's because why?
Because it's a dark place for them to lay all their little
It's
eggs.
leading somewhere. You should not
I know
have
he is.
answered that.
I know he is.
And so I'm wondering whether I'm going to have a bunch of ants in my asshole now. I'm wondering if that's possible. And thanks for taking the bait, Wally. Appreciate you taking the bait. That's like that time that I put a quarter on the tip of my dick and you took it. That was great.
Well, I thought it was bait.
That's true. It was.
You knew it was coming though. As soon as you said, "So why did they do it?"
Yeah.
You knew you were going to get smacked.
Yeah.
Oh, good. So now you're saying I'm predictable. Okay.
No, not predictable. Just knew that there was some disgustingness brewing in your brain somewhere.
My asshole is disgusting, Wally.
How can I talk about my asshole? Ants.
There's got to be a way.
As if Chris needs a lead in to talk about his asshole on this podcast.
No, I do not. I absolutely do not. I can let it go at any time.
Again, this past week, there was a what food did you show a picture of, Chris, with the exploding toilet?
We went to Mexican on Tuesday night.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I knew my colon was going to act up, and sure as shit, whoever picked 952 was the winner. It blew up. Kind of like the Hindenburg, Wally. It was something.
We really could have. We could do like a like the Super Bowl grid with Chris's. When will Chris have an explosive diarrhea activity? And we can pick a date and week and listen. It may be a way to make money, you guys.
Dude, if I get paid off, I'll make sure your square wins.
Hey, I thought so. Jess, I'm looking at your mic. Is Chris supposed to be sending you a microphone?
He did.
Chris did.
Oh, he did. Oh, you're not using it? Is that it?
No, it's.
Well, what was wrong with the RE20?
Actually, nothing's wrong with the RE20. It's the little preamp that I put on there that's given me all kinds of feedback. But also with the RE20, I haven't figured out the right compression and stuff to put on it to make it sound good.
Okay.
All the stuff. What do you have it running through?
Through a MGX 12 something.
Like I know.
I don't even know what the fucking MGX 12 is.
Yamaha MG 12XU.
Would you like me to send you a Symmetrix 528 as well?
I mean, only if it's free because I'm out
Let me
of
see what
money.
I can find here.
Yeah, when somehow I was asking about the microphone. You get a microphone and a free Symmetrix, and I got nothing.
I mean, I did pay for the microphone.
Yes.
Oh, okay, well that's good.
And also, I harassed the shit out of Chris until he sent it to me.
Shipping is not my strong suit. You can ask anybody that's bought from me on eBay.
I thought shipping is what you do a lot of.
I do, but I just don't do it quickly.
But can you ship my pants?
Ship your
That's
pants.
right. That's what I'm wondering.
Ship my pants.
Ship my pants. Yeah. So all the years in radio, I have no idea what any of the equipment this shit is plugged into does or how to really use any of it. I just always walked into the studio and went, okay, if you push this button, the microphone comes on. If you push this button, well,
I mean, same, but I have to have because I'm doing audiobooks and you can't you can't gate anything. So I have to get the settings right so that the sound is good and there's nobody that fixes it up for me after I record it. So I have to play around with all these settings on Adobe Audition to figure out how to make it sound good.
Yeah, I'm in.
The sound is different on the RE20 than it is on this mic. So
for sure.
I have the settings good for this mic. I have to get them changed for that one.
It may come as a really a big surprise to you that in this sort of arena of the technology part, I know nothing. I mean, I have no idea even how this if this setup I've got, like with the board and the processor and the microphone and the computer, I have no idea how I got it all to work.
But it's been a few weeks since we've had to have you hit the mic to get it to have sound again.
Well, I did switch. I did switch chords, and I think that somewhere there's a kink in that other chord, maybe, and possibly. But I just really am. I'm shocked that any of this shit works. Because I did it all, and I even asked an old engineer friend to, hey, can you come over to the house and help out? And he's, oh yeah. That was a year and a half ago. and
an old engineer friend.
Yeah, well, who is a radio engineer who works locally in the area he does like 3 different companies. He does their work. So because I wanted to figure out how to do a couple of extra things on the board, and I wanted to run it through the red box. What was that red box called?
Scarlet.
Yeah, I wanted to run it through a Scarlet, and I just couldn't figure out how to make all that work. But I don't need the Scarlet.
It's just a couple of wires, It's
yeah, but I for some reason I couldn't figure out how to get it to work through the Scarlet into the processor back through the board. I just couldn't figure it out.
It's just like eating. You put it in your mouth, comes out of your ass. I mean, it's
yeah. I could not figure any of that out.
I'm going to send you a picture real quick. I want somebody to tell me what in the fuck is happening in the car next to me here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, take a look at that.
Like, this is live action.
This is live action. What the fuck?
Oh, well, she has curlers in her hair.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I thought it was a 5G antenna or something. I had no idea what it was.
5G antenna. Yeah, we have a lot. I see a lot more of I have no idea but people with gigantic shower caps walking about the community. And I'm not sure what's going on under the shower cap. They look like shower caps, but they're more clothy.
They're bonnets.
What's it called?
A bonnet.
What's going on under there?
They probably have a hairstyle they're trying to protect from the elements.
The last time I saw anybody wearing a bonnet, it was Lynn Thigpen and Lean on Me. Okay.
I would just before we got on this on the cast today, I was watching the 50 worst movies ever made documentary.
Oh, good. Where'd you get to?
According to who?
I got to one. I have no idea what it was, but there's a common theme. Ed Wood.
Oh my God.
Is a common theme. Bela Lugosi and Lon Chaney are also common themes in the worst movies ever made. And even a Joan Crawford. It's long after their careers sort of peaked and ended, and then they end up in these ridiculous 70s horrible movies that are just unfucking believable. And Ed Wood, I don't know how that guy ever made a movie. Some of the movies they were showing he made. And there's a lot of teen slasher stuff in the worst movies ever made.
What was the Joan Crawford contribution?
Yeah, I was wondering. It was called Wire Hangers Part 2.
Right, Mommy Dearest.
There was a gorilla. No, there was a gorilla. There was a gorilla involved. There was a guy in a gorilla, and what was it? It wasn't the Troll. Like Troll was in there. That movie Troll from like 1980 or something. But wow. She had a shotgun shooting a guy in a gorilla costume. They don't go into big detail. They show like, here's 72 seconds of the worst movie ever made. No, Ishtar was in there.
Oh, that is classic.
Ishtar is one of the worst movies ever made. And there was a complete ripoff of Jerry Lewis and Dean Martin. This guy who was doing the Jerry Lewis part was doing every Jerry Lewis stunt there ever was.
Really?
He had the hair, he had everything going on. Yeah, it was so if you see it on the Netflix, watch it. It's not great, but it's good enough to give you a good laugh and say, we watched this shit in the 70s. Well, I did. But
Who was doing the Jerry Lewis with Byron and Tanaka, or Pink Lady and Jeff? Who
it
was
was
it?
something like that. It really was like weird, a couple of weird names. It was a duo that just ripped off the Lewis and Martin thing. Well, there was also Alan Hale was in one of the movies too, which was pretty funny to see.
I don't
Yeah.
think anybody's going to disagree with Alan Hale being in a shitty movie.
No.
I mean,
Oh.
look at I want you to think about this. Gilligan's Island. How long were they out there? Several years?
Yeah.
Okay, that boat that they were in
The minnow.
on a 3.5 hour tour, and the max that boat could go was only about 4 miles offshore.
Right.
Okay. So they couldn't have gotten that goddamn far. And it took them that long to find it. And they always had batteries for the radio. I'm calling bullshit.
But they couldn't figure out how to get a hold of anybody back on the mainland.
Well, except for the Harlem Globetrotters.
Right.
Somehow.
And what was a scientist doing with all that shit he brought along with him? What was going on?
Right. Like scientists just carry their laboratories with them.
They had
Well, and the
they had
Howl.
so much
What about
shit with
the Howl's clothing
Mhm.
for a 3-hour tour?
Yep.
What?
Suitcases
A 3-hour
full of
tour?
furs.
Yeah, they had it all. Lovey and Thurston had everything they needed for the big banquets, which was also fantastic. And so I've watched Lost and Alone and Naked and Afraid and Lost Island or whatever those shows are.
Isn't that what you call your shower time?
And and these survivalists are always on these shows that they somehow can't do shit, but somehow the movie star knew how to make pots and pans out of coconuts and build an elaborate sort of penthouse apartment out of palm leaves and sticks and dirt. But these well-trained survivalists on the shows we watch now can't figure out how to keep ants off them while they're trying to sleep in the sand or find fresh water. Yeah, that's the other thing. How did they find fresh water, these guys? They had a well on the island.
Mm-hmm.
How? I like these shows.
Not everybody can be Richard Hatch, can they?
They just didn't
No.
think we were going to ask questions back in those days.
Yeah. Now, speaking of Richard Hatch, so I was working. We were all working in radio when that show, the first one, came out. And did you guys host like the big finale show or anything like that? We had a viewing somewhere with a bunch of people who were really into the show showed up, and they had a big viewing, and because radio, that's what radio does, right?
Mm-hmm.
It does things like that. But that fucking guy, that Richard Hatch, and he ended up, didn't he go to prison or jail for like the tax evasion and not claiming his $1 million and all of that shit?
Something.
Yeah, I think
I gotta look it up.
Some sort of internal revenue fraud, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think he did. There's very few of those people that end up on those shows that win those shows that end up somehow in jail for some
Hatch
reason.
was convicted in a county district court in September 2001 with domestic assault, 1 month after his former partner, Glenn Boyanowski, accused him of assault. Hatch said
Wait
the
a minute.
assault
Hold on. Richard Hatch was a poofter?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I had no idea.
He was sentenced to 1 year probation and was ordered not to contact Boyanowski. He appealed his conviction and sentence, both of which were overturned. He was convicted on January 25th, 2006, with 2 counts of attempted tax evasion and 1 count of signing a fraudulent tax return for not paying taxes on $1.4 million, his past survivor winnings, his $321,000 earnings as co-host of a Boston radio show. Okay, show of hands. Who here has ever made $321,000 in 1 year at a radio station?
Especially as co-host. I mean, you weren't paying me anything like that. Okay.
Yeah, he was a co-host making that kind of money.
Uh-huh. And
Wow.
and $28,000 rental property.
Boy, get me that job quickly.
What station was he at in Boston?
I don't know. Well, let's see. What
I'm gonna-
station was Richard Hatch? What Boston station? Was Richard Hatch on?
Richard Hatch Radio. Let's see. I have no idea.
Wow, I type in Richard Hatch and it shows me fucking charcoal underwear. What in the fuck is going on here?
I see him. I audio. He Jess.
What?
He narrates audiobooks.
Good for him. I bet he makes more money than me on that too. He's getting
I wonder if it's-
$300,000 as a radio co-host.
I think it might be a different Richard Hatch though,
Maybe not.
because this Richard Hatch died in 2017. He has an IDMB.
And when you
Wow.
go to the IDMB, is there no reference to a show about being stuck on an island?
No, it's Battlestar Galactica. It's a different.
No,
Richard
that's
Hatch.
definitely not the same Richard Hatch.
Yeah, different Richard Hatch. It's the Battlestar Galactica Richard Hatch. Yeah, no idea. I want to know what radio station was paying a guy that much in Boston
It doesn't
to be a fucking co-host.
say on Wikipedia.
That's because that's a crazy amount of money to make in 1 year. If that was a single amount.
I mean, depending on when it was, Boston's a major market. I don't know what they were paying their jocks. Certainly more than I've ever made, but
Yeah, that's more than I think I made in 10 years. Oh yeah, easily. That would be almost at the beginning salary you were making, Jess. That's 20 years of salary right there. Same with me. I'm not. That's not even a joke. Because the when we were working together, we were both in the 14 or 15 range. No, the 12 to 15 range.
I think I was making about 10 in Ithaca. And then graduated up to I think 12 when I came to work for you in Rome.
Yeah,
Man,
you're
and you
talking
kept
about
on doing it.
25
weird
years
part.
of salary.
Yeah.
You think about that's insane. That's insanity right there.
My best job was a programming gig, and I made a third of that.
Yeah, I never
My
got close to that.
best programming job making money was getting fired and getting actually the two best years I had radio money was a retention bonus for staying at a station in Syracuse, for staying at HEN at Park Communications during their sale, and
I
I got a
remember that.
fat retention bonus, and then getting fired in Maine, and getting having the previous owner honor my contract by paying me if I got fired within. I had a thing in my contract that if you sell and I get fired as a result of the sale, you will pay me $15,000, and that happened. That actually happened, and I did get the 15 grand.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Yeah, the very day I got he sold the station within 90 minutes of the sale. I had a check for $15,000 because I was fired within 4 minutes of the sale
Oh my God.
of the signing. Yeah, and I bought a house.
Okay, wait a minute.
Jesus Christ.
An article in 2001. So he was on the radio in 2001.
Jess is a
Oh, I'm like the FBI.
is a research. Look at her doing her research, digging deep.
But it's interesting because there's this story on ABC News from 2001, and it just says the reality show contestant said on his Boston radio show yesterday. So he was defending himself against the assault charges, but they don't say what radio station he was on.
He must. You know what? So I think that lots of times when I think radio, I think music, right? Music radio.
It was probably
Wonder if he
talk
worked-
radio.
Yeah, he must have worked one of the AM talk stations, like the same. Who's that fucking guy? He's not on the air anymore.
And he
but-
was making $300,000 as a co-host?
Can you imagine that? So what was the host? The host must have been making big cash.
Here we go. Found it. In 2001, between January and December 2001, Hatch made appearances on WQSX FM Boston as a co-host of the radio program The Wild Show.
There you go.
So he must have just been making appearance fees.
WQSX Entercom paid Hatch $391,371 for being on the show, $70,232 to Hatch personally at first, and subsequently $321,000 through Tri-Whale Enterprises, a corporation that Hatch had formed for himself.
And WQSX no longer exists.
Does it not?
It's now a simulcast of an AM station, a sports station.
Okay.
Yeah, I have recently updated my resume. Not a single station that I have ever worked for still exists or is owned by the same company.
Mm.
Not a single. And so when it asks you for, references.
Does KISS not exist anymore? Or is it just that it's owned by a different company?
Yeah, KISS. Oh, yeah. I'm not even sure that KISS isn't even called KISS anymore, is it?
They changed.
They changed it away, then changed it back.
They changed it to KISS FM. Yeah, 97 WSKS.
Yeah,
it's KISS FM, the number one hit music station.
The number one bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And they must be on their third or fourth owner since then. They've had to have gone through a couple.
Let's see.
But nobody we worked with would be there.
No, for sure not. It's currently owned by Roser.
Oh my God. Are you kidding?
Isn't that
what's
who
a
owned the
Roser?
competition?
Wow FM.
Yeah.
He owned the station we tormented and crushed.
Their website is cnykiss.com. That's stupid.
Why?
Hey, but it flows off the tongue on the air. Just head to cnykiss.com and you can be a winner right now. Go to Twitter and Instagram and all that other bullshit. cnykissfm.com radio. Yes.
Yeah. No one's doing that. I was having some conversations about radio the other day with a couple of friends, and we came up with. Well, here we had this big balloon fest, which has been canceled because they couldn't get the sponsors, and for whatever reasons, they can't do balloon fest, which was a big deal for many years, having a balloon fest. And I said, and there seemed to have been agreements on this, that one of the reasons why it disappeared is because it doesn't have the support of local radio, because local radio really isn't there, because that was really local radio is what supported a lot of this shit across the country, not just here, but if you had an event, you married yourself to a local radio station, they promoted it, it became an event, the crowd showed up because radio was there.
Mm-hmm.
But now, the thing that I sort of was saying was that radio only shows up if a crowd is guaranteed to be there. They show up just to say, hey, here we are, here's our banner. We exist still. We're radio. So the radio doesn't show up unless there's a guaranteed crowd going to be there. And they don't any longer create a crowd.
You know what's interesting? On the other side of that, record labels very rarely hire an artist based on their existing talent unless that artist has already created their own story. So it's kind of the same thing. The artist has to bring the fans with them already.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
That it's such a changing dynamic. Though artists sort of, I guess maybe that's sort of the freedom that artists wanted, though. When they said, hey, listen, we don't want you to own all our shit, we'll create our own brand, then.
Well, but there's still a lot of these deals are still the labels still own all their shit once they sign them.
Yeah, which kind of sucks when you if you don't have any of your publishing, all the money's in the publishing, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you don't own that shit, you get
publishing, the touring, the merch, the everything. The labels are doing these 360 deals now where they own every part of your brand.
They figured it out.
Mm-hmm.
They figured out how to fucking get in there, because at least back in the day, you were getting maybe $1 per CD or a couple dollars per album sold.
Yeah, now you get 0.8 of a penny per stream.
Right. Which is nuts. I mean, you're really not making any money off people hearing your music anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You've actually got to get out there and you got to work your ass off. And then you're only making what, 20% of what you would have made 20 years ago?
Yeah.
you're having to work 10 times as hard to get half the money,
Mm-hmm.
which is rough. That's rough. I'm not sure. That's why you end up with a lot of shitty ass, I think, of artists who come and go quickly, and the great artists who stick around for a while, have to work so hard because they're out there constantly.
Yeah.
I mean, they must get old quick.
I don't know. I feel like I was just thinking the other day how Lainey Wilson, people might be burning on her because she's getting success after success after success, and she's just constantly in the news.
Right.
And so I think even though she's a fantastic artist and she's putting out great music, I think people might be getting a little bit tired of her because she won Entertainer of the Year at the CMA Awards. She just won Entertainer of the Year at the ACM Awards. There's a documentary coming out about her next week. She last week was invited to join the Grand Ole Opry. Like, she is just constantly being talked about.
I think you're right. I think that there's such overexposure because the group of really great artists, of good artists, people you want to hear, is shrinking.
And she's not just a great artist you want to hear. She's also an incredibly likable and kind human being, which makes her even more like you want to cheer for her even more. I think that's what gets her in the news coverage even more.
Yeah, I think it also makes you a target of haters.
Yeah,
too.
It
sure. Makes you a huge
Any
target.
Success makes you a target of haters.
What's that?
Any success makes you a target of haters.
Yeah, but I think it's so concentrated now. It's like it's concentrated. It's because there aren't 500 people you can pick on to decide I'm going to hate you. Well, who cares? 1 out of 500. Now it's one of there's 30 people you really care about. And so, hey, let's concentrate all our fucking hate on Taylor Swift or Lainey Wilson or somebody. And they fucking hammer you. And now something you didn't see a lot of previously was other artists attacking artists.
Yeah, I just think that's gross.
Sort of new.
Like, I don't really understand the concept of creating like a social media post or going on an interview or something like that for the purpose of shitting on somebody else's art.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get that. Like, you and I, Wally, don't obviously agree on everything.
No.
And we don't.
Wait a minute. What?
I know, right? And I know that we don't love all of the same music, right?
No,
but does that mean that the music you love is a piece of shit and I need to go on social media and go, attention? My opinion is that this music Wally loves is a piece of shit. Like, that's somebody's art.
Attention. Wally, I want you to know that Joan Armatrading is fucking terrible. Just fucking awful. And Wally, well, fuck you and your Taylor Swift.
Like, I do listen to Joan Armatrading now and again.
I bet the fuck you do. You and your fucking liberal bullshit.
I do listen to Joan Armatrading once in a while.
But you know what's not going to happen? Our promo where I type out the little thing and we post, the promo teaser thing. It's not going to say Joan Armatrading is shit.
But it should, because Joan Armatrading is shit. Okay.
So here's
Wally, I would rather listen to you wipe your asshole with sandpaper than listen to Joan Armatrading. Okay.
Well, the sound wouldn't be very different.
No, it would sound very much like the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
I would rather listen to Yoko Ono in a group of fucking feral cats than listen to Joan Armatrading.
So here's the thing I think about when you know somebody a long time. Even obviously, so Jess and you and I have known each other a long time. Well, there's a big gap in between where we were just sending like a Facebook message here and there and blah,
every
blah, blah.
5 years.
Right. But let me once a year, let me contribute to Jess's thing.
Mm-hmm.
And Jess was having a once a year note. Hey, thanks so much.
Hey, one of those true friends, that gets on somebody's timeline and once a year and goes HBD.
was just, how many of those did you get, Chris? Because not only
anybody that is quote famous, okay, quote famous, in their own head, are the ones that do HBD. Okay,
I was just,
and one of them was a deaf guy, and he wrote HBD and then the number 2 and the letter U.
Oh, for
and
fuck's sake.
This guy's in radio and deaf. Okay, big time radio guy and deaf. All right, and I can hear this guy actually saying, "Hey, midday to you." Okay. I mean, it's so damn funny. But yeah, the HBD came from a very well-known consultant.
I think I saw that. He has glasses.
A very well-known consultant that you don't know whether he is African-American, Puerto Rican, or just has a nice afro hair.
Oh, that's not who I was thinking of.
Yes. But you know who that is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
I got one.
No. It rhymes with like McVeigh.
I got one. Not only did it seem very unenthusiastic. It was fully written out happy birthday, but with a period at the end.
Yeah, and you know, those are the worst ones too, because like there's no thought put into it or anything. And the people that know me, you know, are not going to write on Facebook. Most of them, or they'll write on Facebook in addition to sending you a text. You know, and I would rather have you fucking cocksucker happy birthday,
right,
than HBD.
Right. This person who did this happy birthday written out, but with a period at the end. And I thought, that just feels like you don't mean that at all enthusiastically. Also, it was like 2 days after my birthday.
Uh-huh.
I dated him in high school.
Wow.
And we're not friends now. As a matter of fact, I think every time
I'm going to block him in 10 minutes.
I actually wonder why I haven't yet, because he's kind of a piece of shit.
Yeah.
and he tried to.
So hold on. So you're saying your history of men goes back to fucking high school?
Oh yeah. From the very beginning.
Oh, Christ.
Same type of dude all the way through. He is just like the rest of them. And
oh my God.
And when we first connected on Facebook, I might have talked about this before. When we first connected on Facebook, we like messaged back and forth just for a couple of minutes. And he mentioned some outfit I wore in high school. This is decades later. Some outfit he remembered, a skirt or something that he remembered that he liked that I wore back in high school. And I don't think I even responded to it. And then a few days later, I get a message from him that says, "I'm sorry if I misled you, but I am happily married and not looking for anything else," or something like that. And I was like, "The fuck?" And I actually responded and I said, "I don't know who needs to hear this, but you are not talking to that 16-year-old girl whose head you messed with back in high school. So good luck with your marriage. Have a great life." And a few days later, he sends me an email from his work email address saying, "Hey, sorry about that. My wife went through my Facebook messages and said that me talking to you was the equivalent of cheating on her." And I was like, well, that sounds like a you problem. And again, have a great life.
Take care.
That's a strong marriage.
Shockingly, they're divorced now, and he has now married somebody we went to high school with.
For real.
For real.
So since that conversation, he's gotten divorced, remarried to an old high school flame of some sort.
After dating a different girl that we went to high school with and cheating on her, which I only know because she kept messaging me about it. She was with him while he was with his wife. And then she was messaging me about some shit. And I was like, have you tried not dating married men? You were coming to the wrong one for sympathy on that.
So you had some run-ins with some creepy guys, particularly grocery store run-ins. Those are, in my estimation, those are so much less creepy than the guy from high school who remembers something you wore 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Saying, "Hey, I remember that outfit you wore back in fucking 1980 81 or whatever the fuck.
Okay, I was 9.
81. She was 9. Yeah.
Well, whatever
hey,
it was.
remember that time?
That would be
I'm living
even
my high
creepier.
school.
Yeah, that is
my
so
high
good,
school was
Jess.
1981. But
I remember that time you were wearing that jumper before you were 10.
Well, I was referring to. I was thinking about my high school years.
Uh-huh.
So I was done with high school in 81. But
Wait a minute, you were hitting on 9-year-olds in high school?
That no, I graduated in 81. That's so much creepier, though.
Yeah.
Him remembering something like that than a guy saying, "Hey, what do you think of these cantaloupes?" You know, I think I'm going to take the guy with the cantaloupe. Or, hey, does this bring any? When I hold these 2 apples and this banana, does it bring anything to mind? Like, I mean, that's a much creepier guy talking to you about a high school outfit. Man, oh man!
Yeah, I can't. So he's the one who posted on my Facebook wall 2 days after my birthday, "Happy birthday" with a period. I was like,
I want to say
you don't mean that. First of all,
I may have posted a happy birthday on yours, but I wouldn't have gone to the trouble of writing anything. I just click on the thing when it shows like the party favors and a happy birthday. I just clicked that. You put that. I called you on your birthday.
Yeah, I think you did.
I think I texted you "fuck off" or something like that.
I called you. I said, "Hey, I just called to say happy birthday. Have a great day," and that was the end of the conversation. It was like super quick.
Yeah, you did. That's right. And I commented on Chris's post. I think it was your thank you post, and I said. I said, wait, did I know your birthday was so close to mine? And then I said, just kidding. I wanted this to come up in Facebook memories or something. And I said, happy birthday, 2024.
Yes, I saw that. I saw that. So I got a birthday post from somebody. And this is an interesting story. If I could indulge you with a story.
Absolutely.
Oh, please do.
So this girl that I used to fuck on years ago. She nice girl. And she thank you. Sorry, I had to get some chicken nuggets. My stomach's killing me. But this girl, Julie and I were going through a split, and this girl and I hooked up, and nice girl. And I had my gallbladder taken out, and I was in the hospital, and she was there when I got into the hospital, and I fell asleep and woke up, and all of a sudden my ex-wife, number 1, is standing there. And apparently my mother took this girl and threw her into the elevator at the hospital and said, "You'll leave my son alone if you know what's good for him."
What?
Okay.
What?
Yeah. Now that's 2003. Okay, or 2004, something like that.
But why?
My mother's not a fan of divorce.
Okay.
And so I was told about 10 years ago, because Ed was doing morning drive at Key 103. And he said, "Yeah, I can't believe this girl's dead. I mean, I remember reading her name on the birthday club when I was doing mornings on Key 103. And she had a weird last name. But Ed's like, it's just so weird to think that she's dead. I'm like, yeah, I mean, that's what I've been told. She had a brain aneurysm in Denver and died. And I'm like, God, a woman that I vigorously fucked is dead. It's very weird to think about that. And we talked about that again vigorously. I mean, violently. It was something. But Ed and I were talking again. It's like, yeah, I can't believe she's dead. And because Ed's stories are recurrent. So we kept talking and then he said it again. And I'm like, God, maybe her husband or kid or something. So I looked on Facebook. She's alive. I was given bad information, and I'm like, this has to be her. So I'm like, you know what? Request friend. No more than 30 seconds later, she accepted it. And I talked to her over Facebook Messenger, just bullshitting about stuff, this and that. And she's moved from Pennsylvania to Ohio and got divorced a second time. And I was the cause of her first divorce because I didn't know that she was married when I was separated.
Oh, shit.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's pretty bad because the guy she was married to actually worked for the same company we all worked for. And I just had no idea. But nonetheless, we talked and, you know, went through, and she left a happy birthday, old man. So if you want to search that one out, Jess, feel free. And I
Unbelievable.
texted to her again because I was going up to Hanover, Pennsylvania. It's where she used to live, and went to the Utz factory because the Utz factory in Hanover, Pennsylvania is great. They've got some new pretzels that are little mini pretzels, and they have got that garlic butter seasoning on it, like a Papa John's
Oh,
pizza. Unbelievable
yeah.
shit. Yeah, I haven't seen them anywhere but there, but nonetheless. So I sent her a picture of that, and she said, "Ah, yeah, the good old days. We used to go there 20 years ago," and blah blah blah. And I said, "Have I ever apologized for fucking up your life and being a bad piece of shit?" And she said, "No." And I said, "Well, let me do that right now." And I went into this whole thing about how I was fucked up, and there's not one day that I don't question my decisions in 2003 and 2004. And I am sorry for fucking up your life. I am sorry for fucking up your husband's life. This whole thing. And she said, "It's cool. I wouldn't be where I am now." I'm like, okay,
Very nice.
okay.
Now you know,
But
David.
So,
but you didn't knowingly fuck up her life, eh?
well, once I found out she was married, I continued to fuck her because I figured the damage was done. I'm like, look, you can unscrew a light bulb, you can't unscrew that. Okay.
Oh, god
So
damn.
yeah, and this girl, pretty, she had, you want to cover your ears real quick, Miss Sensitive?
No.
I mean, she had some fucking guns on her, Wally. I
Ah.
mean, it was like being at a B-52's concert with that chick on stage with a yeah, and just unbelievable.
Wait, why am I
And
missensitive about that? Like, that's the
It was a
first time
Bob
you've
Seger
talked
tune.
about tits?
tits, yes, that's correct. She had huge tits.
Had
And
points way up high.
they were Madonna bra like, yeah, it was something else.
I can't find her happy birthday, old man.
Yeah, well, it's there. It's there if you just search through 437 posts, but yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's too much.
So because I have not ever been in this sort of situation, and I know how Jess handled a similar situation.
Mm-hmm.
So did the husband of the woman ever approach you or say anything to you?
He never approached me, but I saw there were no text messages then. There was just emails, and it was on the company email that I saw a message that he sent to her. "I can't believe you traded me in for Chris Roth." That's all I saw.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Uh-huh.
So I mean, life is life, right? It just
Right.
happens. I mean, shit happens, and life goes on, and you only know what you know, and you don't know, and you can't go back, and it's like you said, you can't unscrew. But it's so different how people handle these things. You
Mm-hmm.
know, you look at, well, some people handle them one way, some people handle them another way. This guy, I can't believe you traded me in for
Right.
Chris Rock.
Well, and there's like, people in the world. I guess I'm getting to the age that, I don't care if you think I'm an asshole. I mean, half the world does, but
Oh yeah,
I want to make amends with certain people,
yeah, I'm
and
with you.
just speak my piece. Like, the thing that I hold most against Julie is that I never got closure with her.
Hmm.
There's divorce, yeah, but I never got closure with her. And, there's a couple things I want to say and apologize for a couple things, but I never got that chance. Her and one other girl that I dated down in Raleigh, are the two that I want to do that. And I know I'll never get the chance with either one of them. But I'm glad this girl the other day that I talked to, it's like, you know what? Let's have this talk.
You know what I even think's harder, Chris? I
Hmm.
mean, it is hard to do that. But once you do apologize, if someone doesn't respond to the apology,
Mm-hmm.
so I've apologized to somebody from way before I was an adult, basically, and just no response at all, and just no acknowledgement of, you know, that yeah, you were an asshole. At least just say yeah, you were an asshole, but
Mm-hmm.
that was fucking 100 years ago in
Do you want me to
lifetime.
say it on their behalf?
No, because we know you think I'm an asshole. There's no but that's So in this little menage a trois that we have here, the three of us, right?
Mm-hmm.
This intellect, it's an intellectual menage a trois, I would say. But it's we understand these roads we take, right? We know that I'm going to be an asshole about something when or where my asshole road is, but we move on. We understand we're doing a thing here, right? So because I was in a different space last week, obviously, and like sometimes we all get in these spaces, but we all have this space. We go like, well, yeah, that's we know that's where this person's going to go, or this person's going to, and in 10 minutes you're like, okay, so what else is going on?
Right.
And so I think so. And here's what we all, I think, have in common. We all have this thing in common where we've all experienced and understand this beautiful thing called therapy, forgiveness, move past it, yada, yada, yada. And I know we come back on this now and again, but we all have figured out that when someone says, I'm fucking sorry, or whatever it is, you say, okay, great. Let's move fucking on. To dwell in the fucking rut of life is so stupid.
I mean, I feel like I feel like there's nuance and context to that, just like there is with anything,
sure.
because the level of transgression, if my fucking ex-husband called me tomorrow, first of all, I'd be like, how the fuck did you get through my phone block? And secondly, if he called me and apologized, I'd still tell him to go fuck himself.
Yeah, but he was fucking.
It's a little different.
He was an adult. It was.
But that's
very
what I mean.
Egregious.
That's what I mean about there's levels of transgression that
absolutely
determine whether we can go, yeah, okay, it's fine, let's move on.
He made promises to you in life, right? He had responsibilities to you in life and to himself for that fucking matter. His transgressions were fucking heinous. He lied. He cheated. He stole. He like all of this.
And you're just bringing up his good points,
right? that was the stuff he actually had to think about. So he has this huge fucking ball of wax. It's undoable and unmeltable because his stuff was with purposeful animus.
Yeah,
man, where am I finding these fucking words today?
Did you learn a new word?
But it was with purpose. His shit on you was an attack.
For sure.
Purposeful animus. It wasn't happenstance. It wasn't.
No, but that's the only thing I mean about there being levels of.
Yes, absolutely.
Will I ever forgive him? Probably not. That doesn't mean I'm sitting around wallowing in anger against him.
No, right.
But fuck him.
Right. If he were broke down on the road and a tractor trailer was coming towards him, you wouldn't go like, move.
No, but I would record.
She'd block his view.
She'd just go, help.
You'd shine a light in his eye so he couldn't see. Help. Camera. No, so the story Chris just told, Chris's story is youthful. It's a youthful indiscretion, but it also involves an emotional thing that is inescapable, maybe. That belief I'm in love.
Well, and here's the thing, and how many years later is this? God, this was, I guess, 20 years later.
Right.
20 years later. Literally. And I absolutely mean this. Not a day has gone by that I haven't thought about that. Not a day. And this isn't something that, Dr. fucking, 45-minute pay your copay, can resolve for me. It's not something that I'd say, okay, moveon.org. I mean, I had to do what I did. And am I over it? No. Do I feel better? A little bit. Is there closure with it? Absolutely.
Would you ever apologize to the husband?
No, because the damage was already done at that point. Like I said, if I knew there was a husband, I wouldn't have done that. But once I knew there was a husband, I'm like, well, damage is done. I got to keep drilling the well.
Well, but that's the other thing, though, too. So when something like that happens, I think my take on it, I don't know this, but my take is on it. Chris has no other. He does have sort of a humanist sort of thing, but he has no obligation to this guy at all.
Hmm.
She had the obligation.
Right.
She's way more wrong.
Definitely.
Because she's got the obligation. Chris, I think, and Chris, I'm speaking for Chris now, but she's making this decision for some reason,
Mm-hmm.
And continuing it. And even after Chris finds out, he goes, "Oh, no, we're done." So he has no obligation. So I think,
I wasn't suggesting he should apologize. I was asking if he would.
I know. But good on you, Chris, I think, for good on you for, saying, "Hey, listen, sorry, I fucked things up for you." And then her saying, "Hey, you didn't fuck things up for me."
Well, and that's the thing. And there's two others. I mean, and, with Julie, I mean, she's the one that turned me into a goddamn mental case. There's absolutely not she. I guess I'll take some of the responsibility for it. Us, though, turned me into a mental case. And, it's weird because I'd always thought, look, if one of our parents dies or somebody close in the family dies, I mean, I'm sure we'll show up at the funeral or something. So when my brother died, I'm like, God, I wonder if Julie's going to show up, because I know she knows. People have told her. I mean, it was her brother-in-law, for God's sakes. But I didn't find out about her mother dying until 2 weeks ago, and she died like 3 months ago.
Oh, wow.
And I loved her mother, and I would have gone to that funeral and condolences and whatever else. But on the other hand, would it have been a bad move for me to go, considering her and I have not talked? Is it about her? Is it about her mother? What is it? Who is it about? What's it about? Funerals are for the living, right? Do I go on that theory, or what?
My stepmother would not allow my mother to come to my dad's funeral to support my brother and sister and me.
Wow.
So
she actually told me that funeral was her grief.
Well, and that's what I was thinking. And that's what I was thinking afterwards. It's like, even if I did know, would I have gone? Would that have been overstepping the line?
Yeah.
When in DC, Don Geronimo's wife died back in 2005.
Man, he was fucking ripped apart.
Yeah, it was terrible. And it's funny, I talked to him last week. That's a whole nother story.
You did?
Oh yeah. But there was obviously a funeral, and he said that he was getting phone calls from people, expressing condolences. And, there's all these radio wars over the years and all these lawsuits for defamation and whatever else. And I remember he got on the radio just to explain why he was off and he was going to take some more time. And he gets on the air and he says, it's unbelievable. People are calling and saying, condolences wins the funeral. And they said, you know what? And then I got a call from Jack effing Diamond. And we have hated each other for years. And he says, look, buddy, can I come to the funeral? And I'm like, of course. Yeah, come. Absolutely. Thank you. And it's just so weird how, that stuff can be buried even on the bigger level,
Did they hate each other like personally for personal reasons, or just as competition?
Absolutely.
Both?
Yeah, both.
Okay.
Both. Absolutely.
Because I was going to say, I don't know about you guys, but I've worked at stations where we pulled some shit against the people who worked at other radio stations. And I know I've talked about this before. Tommy McFly, when he was an intern in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and I worked at the station across the street, I remember he had a remote one time. Our whole air staff showed up in our station shirts. Listeners showed up. We had banners. We put banners all over this bar. It was their remote, and Tommy was the only one there from the radio station, and he was terrified. And then I said something to him, and I was nice to him, and he said, "Are we allowed to talk to each other?" And I was like, "Of course we're allowed. It's just competition. We're not. We don't actually hate you."
No, it's just. But that's the changing sort of the changing dynamic of radio, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean that was
commonplace.
That was 20 years ago.
Yeah, it was commonplace though back then to be competitive in that way.
But that's why I ask, because I know some people at radio didn't understand that the competition was not personal.
Yeah, it's sort of, so I guess you could compare it to maybe like WWF wrestling, right? There's a storyline. There's a a playfulness about it
Mm-hmm.
that everybody's sort of in on the joke.
Yeah.
Except for the people watching it are not in on the joke.
Right.
But that thing with Don Geronimo and Don and Mike, that was real with Jack Diamond.
Oh yeah.
That was real shit. And I think the dying, and I don't know this to be true because I don't know Don Geronimo personally, but I think the dying of his wife contributed greater to his radio career ending than anything.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
100%.
It
And the
absolutely
conversations I have with him, I know that to be fact.
just me as an observer of listening to him, and then I talked to him a couple of times when he was he out in California. He was working on a radio station that I was buying advertising on.
Hmm.
And
Sacramento?
he was the big sell. Yeah, in Sacramento, he was the big sell. They had just picked him up. Was that KSTE or something, or
KTLK or something like that?
Yeah, KFPK or KSTE or something. Anyway, he was the big
It was
sell.
a sports station. Yeah.
Yeah. And he was the big sell. And I talked to him a couple of times, but you definitely got the feeling, even listening to his show, that he was a shell of a shell of a shell of the air performer he was when he was in DC.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was. I thought back then that he and they were better than Stern back then. I thought.
Absolutely.
Absolutely,
They were much better.
Yeah, I think they were absolutely better than Stern. Their whole shtick, their whole everything they were doing was better than what Stern was doing. And they were doing it with 2 people, not with 10.
Mm.
Right.
And that's just and Stern was stealing stuff from them too.
Of course. Well, Stern was stealing stuff from them. Stern was stealing stuff from everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
But people were also stealing stuff from Stern. Anything original he came up with.
I mean, there's no original ideas in radio.
Well, no, I mean, to be fair, I think with Stern, I think, lesbian bestiality dial-a-date, I think that was an original concept.
Eating women with dead fish. Yeah, it was probably original.
Hmm.
Yeah. The difference is he evolved, right? Stern evolved into perhaps the greatest radio interviewer.
Now, 100%. It's not even a perhaps. He is. He's the greatest interviewer, to come along. He's left the Bongo Fiesta days behind.
Yeah,
as he should.
Oh, he wouldn't have survived.
No.
Hmm.
And the funniest thing I think about him is, or the most ironic thing is, when he gets to the place where he can be absolutely fucking ridiculous because he's on satellite radio where he can say anything and do anything, that's where he matures into a more adult, less toxic.
Well, because he's not feeling like he has to be rebellious.
Yeah, and he doesn't have to overperform.
Mm-hmm.
Now he can be, speak to presidents and A-level actors and performers and musicians, and he becomes he doesn't have to showboat against a whole bunch of other showboaters.
No, because he's not being told you can't do what you do.
Right.
And feeling like he has to give a middle finger to anybody and do it bigger as a fuck you. Because I really feel like that was a big part of his early career.
Absolutely. Hmm. Plus, he's so instrumental in sort of, not a great thing, but I think he may have single-handedly destroyed the FCC.
Yeah.
And its oversight. He may have single-handedly done that, at least for radio. He may be the guy. Oh, by the way, I see you're drinking your ice.
Mm-hmm. So
I am drinking right now Starburst ice in Starburst flavors.
Like this brand?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen Starburst flavors.
Yeah. They have the cherry, the orange, the lemon, and strawberry. And I bought some more today. Found it. It's delicious.
Mm-hmm.
It is
good flavor, right?
So good. Yeah. Oh, it's packed with flavor.
Yeah.
So if we can, maybe we might have found a sponsor.
Well, I guess it depends on their tolerance for the word cunt.
If we can go back, they don't have a cunt flavor, so that might be a problem. They haven't developed the cunt flavor yet. But I think that's because cunt comes in so many different flavors.
That's
So
true.
it'd be hard to isolate one.
Yeah, that's true.
It'd be hard to figure it out. You want an ethnic guy? I mean, what kind of cunt do you want to go with here? So I found this, and it's fucking delicious.
Hmm.
And I think 2 out of 3, we could do it like they used to do, like Nutrisystem. We'll use your product, and weekly we'll talk about it, and we'll tell you how much weight we're losing using your 0 calorie, 0 carb beverage.
I will not do that.
Fen, for fuck's sake. Come on.
What?
Jess has already got sucked into that shit in Frederick.
I will not talk about how much weight I'm losing because I wouldn't even know.
Oh no. But that's what it used to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nutrisystem and fucking, or I don't. There was so many of those fucking fly by night things, and every salesperson in the building, if you had 5 salespeople in your building, you had 5 different products that they wanted to, each one had one that they wanted you to try and be the spokesperson for. And 3 times a day you'll be on the air with a pre-recorded thing saying how delicious their product is, or how easy it is to take, or how well it mixes with water, or whatever it was.
I had a salesperson come to me asking me to do an endorsement for Ford. The day that I was on the air, Chris, I don't remember if I was talking to you or Conrad, but
Ford Motor?
Yeah, I was on the air. I think it was one of the local Ford dealerships, but I was on the air specifically saying, I'm a Chevy girl. My father would roll over in his grave if I drove a Ford. I like Chevys better. Like I had this whole conversation on the air, and then the salesperson came to me and said, we want you to do an endorsement for Ford, or for this Ford dealership. And I went, do you really think that's a good idea?
You listen to this radio station?
Because I just did a whole thing. I don't think it would be a good idea on my part, because I just got done saying that I don't do that.
You will have no legitimacy.
Like, have you talked to your client about the Chevy girl endorsing their product?
But how many of you have worked for? Oh, we all have. But how many salespeople actually ever listened to the station they were selling? None.
Unless they were standing in the doorway while you're on the air, even though you've asked them not to do that.
You're right. That I can say almost, except for, when we worked at Yes FM, most of them listened to the station.
I cannot remember a single salesperson from Yes FM.
There was
Although I don't think there was any reason for me to know them.
No. I mean, and they didn't have a ton of them, but I think the difference was most of those salespeople were younger, and we had a young station. And other station, when we were when we worked in Ithaca, in Utica, that was an old sales staff.
Except for that one guy that looked like John Cusack.
Yeah, who sat across from Norma.
Yeah, he listened to us. Yeah. God, I had such a crush on him.
Did you?
Yes, because he looked like John Cusack.
He wasn't there a long time, though.
No.
No, I think he was gone before I was gone.
He played in a band, too, which made him even cuter. And I think I might have hit on him at a bar one night, and he turned me down.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you think he turned you down because, as Chris would say, he was a poofta?
Maybe.
That was it.
Who knows?
I'm going to say that was it.
I mean, obviously, he didn't have very good taste in women, so.
But everybody there was old. And old Eddie, all Eddie cared about was the AM station and Red Sox baseball.
Yep.
That's all he cared about. There was, and then there was the guy who came from, you didn't know him, but he came from, he was the old Ed. Ed came, the other Ed. He was the sales manager at the station that shut down.
Was he a bigger guy?
Yeah, he was the heavyset guy.
So I did remember him.
Yeah, he was the sales manager at the radio station that was bought, and he was out of a job, and that's what put me out of a job. And I sort of said, "Hey, come on over here, because I've got the station going, so come on over." And so he came over, and then there was the older woman. I don't remember.
I was just trying to remember her name. Ginny?
Was it Ginny?
I think it was Ginny. Yeah,
it was Ginny.
Yeah.
And then there was who was the sales manager? What was his name? Um, and Norma had no idea he was gay.
Jack?
Jack.
Was he the sales manager? I thought he was the general manager.
Oh yeah, maybe, yeah. You're right. He was the general manager. Big Ed was the sales manager.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jack. This is my friend and my roommate. Norma. Oh, isn't that nice? Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
She had not a damn clue. Yeah, but most people that didn't listen to the radio stations I've worked at.
Mm.
They just said they had no idea what you were doing from day to day, or who was on, or if you had like, hey, we had I don't know, whoever on. We had the Black Crows on. Oh, really? Who are they? Yeah. Oh, okay. Good for you.
Yeah.
Get. Well, I've worked at those stations for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Are you guys doing anything tomorrow for a holiday? We're having cookout.
No, I thought I was going to go to a cookout today, but it doesn't look like that's probably going to happen.
Yeah, you have to see here. It's fucking unbelievable how beautiful the weather is here right now. Jody was saying we were driving up the driveway, and a week ago it wasn't very green, and now it's just so fucking lush here because we had a few days of rain, and then shit just went boom, and we're gonna have to mow the lawn for the third time in 3 weeks, which is crazy stuff for us.
Yeah, it's like that here too. I have to mow a little bit more frequently here than I did a mile down the road, and I think it's because I'm closer to the lake. There's just
how much lawn do you have there to mow?
It's I mean, it's a pretty small front yard and then a little bit of weeds in the back, and I don't actually mow it myself.
Weeds.
I pay
Did
a
you
guy.
say a little bit of weeds?
There's weeds in the back. I mean, I have dogs, so they destroy all of the grass in the back, and it's just stuff sprouts up here and there.
That's good. We got I mow, or Jody mowed last night. We mow 5 acres. It's a lot of fucking lawn to mow, and each year it was a little more before. We've cut back about a half acre. We mow a little less where some of the fruit trees are, because the fruit trees have sort of died away. All right, you guys, I have grandkids here now and cookout stuff going, and I'm gonna go.
All right. Well, enjoy.
It's all right with everybody. Yeah. And I hope your storm isn't too bad.
Me too. Thanks. I'll talk to you guys next week.
See you, Chris.
Bye-bye.
Bye.